Welcome back. Today I'm going to be doing something a little different than my usual content. I've kidnapped my uh model artist here slash co-host of my stream slash best friend slash prisoner of my basement slash Medusa. And today I'm gonna be interviewing her, and it's gonna be really great and really fun. And I'm gonna ask her a bunch of really, really personal questions, and she's gonna have to answer all of them. All right. How are you, Medusa, today on this lovely undisclosed day?
Doing great. I'm glad to be here. Thank you for the invitation. I would prefer if you don't use a sack to bring me over next time. Just a letter and maybe a rocket to pick me up would be nice.
Okay.
Yeah. Your cat, your an army of cats did not have to like kidnap me.
Okay. All right.
In such a
Yeah.
forceful manner. Yeah, but
Well,
I'm still happy to be here. Like I would. Yeah, it's very
we'll
very nice.
we'll get you the Uber Black next time. I'm so sorry. I told them to be very.
Well, in their defense, the sack was black, so I think they just there was like just some wiring were crossed. Yeah, so they listened to one half and like they ran with it. So
Okay.
yeah.
Well, I'm glad your trip over to the moon was good. Now I'm gonna ask you some
it's beautiful
questions.
around here.
Yeah,
I don't know how you guys have all of these plants like around, but it's
Mm-hmm.
miracle of science, really. But
Yeah, we're pretty advanced on the moon.
yeah.
We keep it low key though because I don't want to attract any unwanted visitors to the moon. But
I don't know. Completely understandable.
yeah.
Completely understandable. Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna ask you some questions today in regards to this beautiful model that we debuted at the beginning of this year, I believe it was, right? It was around
Yeah.
this year. Sheesh, wow.
Time
It's been,
is a big concept for me, so
It's
yeah.
only been 1 month since the debut, and so far, I think I'm ready for a new outfit.
That's what I've been saying nonstop.
Okay.
I have a wardrobe ready for you. Just give me the green, and we're just gonna.
Oh,
You're
okay.
gonna look amazing. Trust me. Just say yes.
It's so funny you say that because I technically still have another outfit that I haven't even debuted. So
I know because you hate me. We've already
No,
established that point. So
we're
like we can
planning
move
some
on to the.
stuff. We're just. All right, we're gonna get
Funny,
into
she
these
says.
questions.
Uh-huh.
So, yes, I feel like your personal style really, really shines through in this model. And I'm not saying that like it's a bad thing because I don't want you to take it out of context and be like,
It's
no, ain't
already
she
out of
such a bad
context
thing?
for
Okay,
me.
all right.
You are on thin ice.
What would you say are your biggest influences in your personal art style? And this is like in your personal art or like your model art because I know you've done other models in the past and stuff. So this is in regards to everything when it comes to your art.
That is a very big question. And a very long question. So you guys, you better be strapped in for a ride because I brought a slideshow with me. This is gonna be scientific. Everything we do is backed by science here, 100%.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, we have the president, president. We have the evidence.
We have the president.
We do have.
We need $100 million if you would like the president to be released. Back.
No.
That's a joke.
That was a great part. I apologize. That's not where we want to go. So I obviously love art. I would say I don't really like currently if you were to ask me my top favorite artists, it would be very hard for me to come with a straight answer because with the age of Pinterest mostly there's been like a lot of shifts in the websites when it comes to art. There's so many websites that popped up. There's so many amazing artists like to follow and go through. A lot of the times I'm very guilty of just like seeing a piece of art and just like liking it and adding it to my collection without actually knowing who exactly the person is until like they come across my page again. Yeah, and then you go investigate it and you're like, hey, like I would really love to follow this person. a lot of I use Pinterest a lot to organize like my collections. There is a lot of beautiful art on Pinterest. So I do have a lot of pins. I do have a lot of pins
Yeah,
when it comes to
I've
art.
seen it before.
Yeah, and I love collecting them. So if there's a lot of artists that I love now, I don't really know them that well, but if I'm gonna trace back to when I started obsessing with art, basically, like the era when I was like learning, forming my frontal lobe in terms of art, you're gonna hate me because I keep bringing this up. You're gonna hate me, Punky.
Go ahead, say it.
It has to be Final Fantasy. Like the whole franchise. Listen, I'm not a shill for companies. I That's the only company I will shill for, I feel. And the only reason I do that is because I kind of like their products. Like, sure, not everything is perfect, but in general, I kind of love a lot of their art. And I love collecting their concept art books. And I think it's like my biggest collection, like physical collection, I mean. I basically, like, the moment a book comes out, I'm like, I have to get it. I must. You could see, like, it's just like I love the range they have in there. Like, of course, they employ a lot of amazing concept artists. The art direction is phenomenal, in my opinion. And, like, in the first slide, I just kind of given a comparison of the same character through different games. So it's the character Shiva, and it's from Final Fantasy X and Final Fantasy 13. And you look at them, they look like completely two different characters, even though like they have the same characteristics. It's just like a beautiful woman and stuff like that, which can be like
lady.
That's yeah, but like the way like the concepts differ so much, and it would be like more evidence if you play the games and see like how they manifest through the story. It's just like it's phenomenal work. It's just like I love it. It's so good. And like if you ever want to buy books for art, like just to look at and be like, oh my god, this is so pretty, immediately I would throw like this franchise as a suggestion, even if you don't play it. Like there will always be something for you to look at in the books or in the art and be like, hey, I see myself in this and I actually really like it. And like you can see in the next like the juxtaposition, like the soft, feminine, beautiful. Like this is like a boss from Final Fantasy. Both of these designs are from Final Fantasy 14, which I've been begging someone to play with me, but they hate me, and it's okay.
I got banned from Final Fantasy 14. They banned me because they're like, you fish too much.
Okay, I see that happening actually. Can you imagine she logged in the game and like she doesn't do anything except I think she's a level 50 fisher right now?
No, I'm not that high.
What level are you, Punky?
I don't remember. I think that's my lowest job, honestly. My highest is like
Is it?
The food one.
Really? That's actually kind of cute.
What the fuck?
That's very cute. It is very cute.
I don't want to hear from you. You're like 2 feet tall. Continue.
What the? You know this is not my canonical size. I'm just doing this so you don't die from my enormity. Anyway, so like it's just like such a like what the? You're so mean to me. Anyways, so like you have the like so on my right, your left, I think. The guy on the with the heavy armor.
The man.
The man, and it can be a woman too. We don't discriminate here, but the knight, that is a dark knight armor. And you see like how jagged and like
yes, it's beautiful,
spiky it is, and like very dark and aura. And on the next side, you have like this beautiful, flowy, ethereal boss that you're gonna have to fight. And it's just like, first of all, one of my favorite boss fights and like boss arenas. It's just like so many options to look at. And then also like in slide 3, if you slide to slide 3,
we're sliding.
you will see. You'll see my favorite creatures. The Moogles. The ones
Mhm.
with the bag and the hat and the big pom-pom on their head, if you
Mhm.
can't tell. I also love the guy on the other side, but like Moogles are everything. I love those little
He
critters.
has a
They are so
butt. I never
cute.
realized that. He's got a little booty.
They do have a butt. These creatures are like a staple in
Mhm. Yeah.
the Final Fantasy franchise. They got a lot of like redesigns through it. I think this like the Final Fantasy 14 ones are my favorite
Mhm.
because they just like cranked them fluffiness to the max. And I just love them. Like I remember in Final Fantasy, like Final Fantasy 9 was my first, and when I would go in to save and the noise they would make, like it's just like one of those things that get ingrained in your brain forever.
Mhm. Mhm.
So I love these guys. And like you see them, they're cute and fluffy and small and adorable, and on the other side you have like this gruff, buff, amazing
Me.
character also. And like it's just like such a good range. I just love it.
Mhm.
Because
Mhm.
I do feel like some games sometimes kinda end up being one tone. Not that it's a bad thing. Sometimes it works for the story, but for a game of this magnitude, I do love how much range they have in their art arsenal.
I agree.
So
No, yeah.
so this game, this whole franchise is just like it was one of the early reasons why I wanted to draw. It
Mhm.
was it was just like it just triggered something in my brain and I was like, "Hey, I want to do this."
Mhm.
So, and it was downhill from there.
Yeah. No,
And
yeah.
of course, I got introduced to the world of the internet, the beautiful world of the internet.
Yes, the internet. Mm.
And then I remember like my early days. God, that makes me sound so old. Like my early days on the internet and like website, I don't know what it was, but the vibe was so different when you would look for stuff like
Mhm.
pictures, and it was so like much more direct in the way like you want a picture of a fairy and you get like all these pictures of fairies. Like there was no suggestions or recommendations or other things overlapping with it, and it was like such a wholesome
Mhm.
browsing experience. And not all of it obviously because it was very unorganized and
The
monitored,
Wild
but
West.
it was a wild west. But in like for seeking art, me personally, it was very, I really enjoyed it. And I ended up stumbling upon the website called
Deviant.
Clamp.
Oh, never mind.
DeviantArt. Well,
Deviant art.
DeviantArt came later for me. I think I kind of was in different corners in DeviantArt,
Mhm.
like in on the internet before I ended up in DeviantArt. So
That's
like
crazy.
DeviantArt came in like very late for me.
Mhm.
But Clamp, I remember the website was pink everywhere. It was such a beautiful website, and I loved their art. The thing is, like, I've never watched any of these shows, never read
Mhm.
the mangas, but I was just like, it's just the art. I loved
Mhm.
like looking at it. I loved saving it on my computer, and I loved just like staring at it. It was so beautiful. And
Mhm.
my favorite of all of the series they had was Chobits, which is very funny
Mhm.
because Chobits is like an android girl, which is like
Like me.
it all comes back together. It's just like it's a lot of people disagree on like the quality of the story and everything, but
Mhm.
you know, it's like anime and manga. Some people like it, some people don't. But I never read or watched any of it. But it's just like the art of it, how flowy it is,
Mhm.
like it, how airy, how just like girly it is. It's just like peak. It was just like I loved it.
It's
I
peak.
loved it
Yeah.
so much.
No. I think a lot of people oftentimes are like, "Oh wow, I can't look at stuff that from a show or a game I haven't watched." And I think it's amplified by like the internet's gatekeepiness towards like certain like, "Oh wow, you don't know every single thing about this game. You're not a real fan." I think sometimes we
Yeah.
can just sit back and like look at something like an art from a game and appreciate it for what it is, and
True.
not have to play every you can appreciate Leon Kennedy and not have to play all 9 Resident Evils,
Leon.
Leon. All right. I shouldn't have mentioned it. Let's get back on track.
Yeah, so I love the trumpets, and I think they were like a very formative artistic source, especially for like clothing. I love them. Like even like another sample is Light Sticks, like especially the red picture. That one just is just like it's I recall like the moment I saw it on the internet. It was just like it's one of those things that you never forget. It's just like I love it. I love it so much. Then I kind of started moving towards like, edgier, cooler, cooler themes, and
Transformed.
the person that I ended up liking, Ayami Kojima. I'm so sorry if I'm saying her name wrong. If you've played any of the Castlevania old video games, you would you know her immediately, like you would know her work. If you're into like early Gothica kind of like romantic art, you would you've seen one of her pieces. Like no way you've never seen any of her pieces. And I just like loved how soft and pretty the characters were, opposite like these gritty, grainy, like very sharp kind of backgrounds. Like the backgrounds are scratched, not clean. Well, not clean, like rough kind of. Like there's like wear and tear in it, and I just like remember like it just activated a different part of my brain where like all of these themes that are like can be considered ugly or not good, just like they can be used to make like these beautiful pieces of work. Especially the angel one on the left, like the that one, oh, that one was like I had it like as a background on my laptop for so long. It's just like it's so beautiful. Like the beautiful face, and then like it turns into like this monstrous thing, and the wings turning into lilies, and the like the rib cage and like the bone, like the spine on the like it's just like give me your brain. I want to think the way you think. It's just like it's so beautiful. And I remember like I was obsessed with her work. Like everything that was similar to it also ended up like entering my collection. I still have a lot of the pictures that I used to collect when I was younger, because like I was so adamant on making sure that I keep them. When I was like moving, because back in the day I didn't have like accounts. And again, it was before DeviantArt, so it was like everything being locally saved on my computer. And I was like so adamant on like upgrading my storages just to make sure I keep them around for the longest time. And I still have like a lot of them. Like some of them don't even have names anymore because, when you download thing, it just gives you for the names. But like I just every once in a while I like open it and I look at it and I'm like, yeah, this is what
good food.
This is where I came from. Yeah, literally, yeah. It does help, like every once in a while, going through like old fountains when you first started, because sometimes you just move too far and you forget why you liked this to begin with, and it's very nice to like go back and be like, oh, I remember when I saw this the first time, and it made me very excited to like go in and make my own pieces.
No, I agree. I think oftentimes it's so easy to get lost in the sauce and be like, oh. And it's always nice to revisit not even just like old pieces that you saw when you were younger, but also like your own pieces and be like, oh,
True.
I've come so far. I've come so far.
Yeah. And then this is where DeviantArt enters.
Oh.
These beautiful pieces are by Lady Jasmine Darnell. Amazing artist. I am so in love with the way she draws faces. It's just like so beautiful, so beautiful. Like it speaks for itself. And again, she also does the thing of like putting soft features into like very grainy, kind of mangled, like gritty things, and it just like it creates like such a beautiful piece
Mhm.
And she still makes art. She is still like makes wonderful pieces. I will advise caution. She does a lot of
They're
her
saucy.
artwork is beautiful, but yeah, she does do a lot of like tastefully
They're
mature
very tasteful.
art.
I've seen them.
They are, I love them so it's so beautiful. Like her art is just like amazing. And
Mhm.
if you're interested in seeing like more of a like a safe for work kind of approach to her work, I think she posts on Instagram, and I think
Mhm.
it's like more censored there than like on
Twitter
Twitter.
or yeah.
Yeah, because I follow her on Twitter too. She's amazing work.
No, yeah, I agree. I remember
Amazing work.
when I first saw her, and genuinely, like, when I would scroll through my feed, I'd be like, wow, there's like her work would pause. Her work would like pop out so much because I feel like there was nobody who was doing it kind of like her when I first discovered her. Maybe nowadays there's more people who are like inspired by her work, but when I first encountered her, it was kind of crazy how like different I feel like she was versus like some of the other artists I was following at the time.
Agreed. Like
Mm-hmm,
she felt very revolutionary at that time. At least like for us when we were
mm-hmm. Yeah.
experiencing it in that period.
Yeah.
But her work is just magnificent.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
I love her stuff. And then there is another artist,
mm-hmm,
Shunya Yamashita, I think
mm-hmm,
is how you say their name. That would be slide 10. This was my foray into concept art,
mm-hmm,
and I remember they were being like the early like influences on like these like it's simple designs,
mm-hmm,
but they just like still have so much details, so much like texture without being heavily textured. It's very playful, very girly, but you can still look at it and be like, "Hey, this is a cool piece."
yeah.
Like I just especially like in the this is like from their early period on the internet, and I
Mm-hmm,
just like love the soft rendered um approach they have to their work. um I do remember like art was a lot more simpler back then. Like I
mm-hmm.
it wasn't there wasn't a lot of, well, there was rendition, but like it was
As
either too
advanced.
heavy or too light.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah. And it feels like they sat for me just in between, and it just like it's just I think it's just like the tone of it. It's just
mm-hmm.
like it's very kitschy,
Are
very
these
like
digital?
girly. Yeah, these are all
They're just
digital.
digital. They almost look like
Yeah.
when you scan like Copic into a computer. That's almost what it reminds me of, like the way
I'm
that
gonna
she
be
has colored
honest,
stuff.
I wouldn't be surprised because
Mm-hmm.
again, this is like a what like a long time ago.
Back when Copic was like
Um
the
yeah.
craze.
So I wouldn't be surprised.
Mm-hmm.
They do I think they do a lot of fully digital art right now. They are
Mm-hmm.
on Twitter if I'm not mistaken. Um their art is still beautiful, but I still feel like this to me like the most influential period of their art, and it's just like it's peak.
It was being
It's
good.
genuinely peak,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
So, yeah, yeah. So yeah, it is a really big question. So these are like the top ones that
Mm-hmm.
I could um think of, which is crazy because it took us like I don't know, like half an hour to answer this question. And
No,
I
no,
do
like 20
love I
minutes.
do love. Okay, that's not bad. um it's just I love art. It
Mm-hmm.
is and there is like so many amazing, beautiful, talented artists, and it just makes it so hard to like pinpoint exactly
One thing.
what was
Yeah.
the reason. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's just like an amalgamation of everything you see and you learn from. But
Yeah.
these are like I think the ones that come forward the most in
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
my development artistically.
Very interesting. Very interesting. I
Mhm.
always love to see like because I think you can tell a lot of from a person based off of like their art style, like oh, you can kind of tell what media they like or like maybe some things that they pulled from. So actually like sitting down with someone and understanding like where they got this from and pinpointing things and then maybe there's like one that you're like, "Oh, I didn't even think about like I didn't even think you like this artist, you know." It's always interesting. Everyone has like a slightly different story, and everyone's so unique, and that's what makes it very cool and very interesting. So thank you for sharing those. A lot of these, I knew a decent amount of these, but there was like, I think the last one I had never heard of. Shinya. So I learned something today.
Mm-hmm,
Thank you.
mm-hmm.
Thank you. Mm-hmm,
No problem. And this is like one
mm-hmm.
of the things that I love about stuff like this. Is
Mm-hmm.
just like you get people people get put into your radar that you didn't even like know
Yeah.
anything about, because like the internet is like vast
Huge.
pockets
Mm-hmm.
of, yeah, and it's fun to like
No,
discover new sources of inspiration.
there's too many artists, and we'll never know all of them, sadly. But we're
Yeah,
closer. We're getting
I'm
closer.
trying. I'm trying.
All right. Now on to the next question. I feel like I've gotten this. I feel like I've gotten this question a couple of times on my TikTok. Some people have said that they're moth wings. I've gotten axolotl. But for me personally, it is a question I think I asked you before. You gave
Mhm.
me a really funny answer.
It was a bad answer.
Just because, no, why butterflies? What was like the initial? Because I know when we first talked about this model, I pretty much sat down with you and I was like, look, I love your artwork so much. Please, just make me anything, even if it's just like a stick model, anything,
Okay.
please. And I was like, I gave you like maybe 4 parameters, I think, which was like ears, Android, sorry, cyborg. Sorry, I misrepresented myself. Um, goth, right, and I think there was one more. It might have been just like the colors, like the general colors and stuff.
Yeah.
And then I was like, you know what? The rest of it, it's all you. It's all you. I just want to see whatever you want. So why butterflies?
Okay, this is. I remember when you asked me this one like the first time, and you're okay. I don't even remember what I answered, but it was so bad. I think I told you like I don't really
Do you want to know what you said?
know.
Because I remember what you said.
Oh, do tell.
You're like, I like them. I thought it would be cool. That's literally what you essentially told
Which
me.
is, it's not a lie. I really like. I remember your answer, because you're like, oh, like you thought it was like metamorphosis and stuff, and
Yeah.
it was, listen, I think the themes of metamorphosis like would work with the like
Mhm,
the transition from your older models to this model. um I would say
mhm.
I love weird things, and that includes weird bugs. And let me finish this, because you're gonna be like, hey, butterflies are beautiful, like what do you mean weird things? Butterflies, like I used to play with butterflies a lot when I was a kid, because
Mhm.
we had like gardens, a lot of gardens around us. So like there's always butterflies. And like you would see them flutter around from like one rose to another flower. And they're just like these delicate, beautiful little things. And you think about what they eat, their diet and stuff, and you're like, "Ugh," like nectar and stuff, like fruits maybe. Like they're just like these delicate little ladies, right?
Mhm.
And then imagine my surprise when I find out they also like eating salt,
Ooh.
which is they usually get it from like animals like sweating or crying.
Okay.
Also, they feed off of decay,
Oh,
like
that's
a dead
cool.
body. Yeah, like they take a lot of they it's like it's not something like they do when they have to. It is something that they need because it's part of their
Mhm,
diet.
mhm.
So in my head, like all I can think of is like these like very beautiful, frilly, kind of delicate ladies of high society, and like
Mhm.
they're just like genteel and floating from one room to the other. And then you just like when like feeding time comes, they're just like
Mm.
eating like corpses, and
Corpses.
like
Yeah.
it's just like it's very horror, but it's in my head like it just sounded so like the juxtaposition of like being beautiful, considered delicate, and butterflies are really like it doesn't take much strength to like crush a butterfly. Not that I recommend you do it. Do not do it.
Mhm, mhm,
Um,
mhm.
it's
We'll
just
feel
like,
safe.
yeah, it's just like it's just like grotesque, but in a very beautiful way still.
Yeah.
And they are very beautiful creatures. Like there's so much variety in them. And I think like most of the time they get pushed in the in favor of moths when it comes to like Gothica and stuff like that. And moths are amazing. I also love moths. But I just feel like butterflies are very high Gothica when it comes to how they feed and how they look.
No, yeah.
So yeah, that was one of the parts why I liked it. And also, listen, you keep saying I L glaze, even though I disagree.
Here we go again.
I view these butterflies as like something delicate and strong at the same time. And listen, you are very amazing.
All
you
right,
are
all right.
very like
All
I wouldn't say
right.
you're delicate, but you're very nice and very sweet and very caring person.
Thank you.
But you're also into like a horror thing. Because you like Silent Hill. Silent Hill is one of your favorite video
It
games.
is,
And a lot
it
of
is.
people would argue it has like really grotesque themes. And I do love that kind of like these kind of games too. And like seeing you and knowing you comparing to things you're interested in, it kind of like invoked that kind of imagery in my head. So it was very fitting to me that butterflies would be part of your theme. So there, have your L-glaze.
Thank you. Thank you for my L-glaze.
You're welcome.
Now that I've paid you
I'll
to
be here
be
all
on
night
my
L-glazing.
Okay. I'll be here all night just glazing it up over here, you know. No, I agree. I think butterflies are often like pushed into the because like you said, they're often like they're like the prettiest of bugs, right? Which is funny because I think about that one episode in SpongeBob where they're literally like well, they're like fawning over like the butterfly that Sandy has in her home, and then like it does a zoom in, and it's just like a bug, and then it looks like a bug, but they're like, oh my god, they're so ugly. So I do think oftentimes butterflies are just like pushed into the pretty category because like they're like pick between I don't like crickets personally, but like crickets or butterfly, what are you gonna pick? A butterfly.
Yeah.
So yeah, very interesting choice. I never did you just come up with that right now, or did you actually
like
yeah.
No, my love. This is like truly my love for butterflies, and it was like a big idea for you, but it wasn't metamorphosis, unfortunately,
Metamorphism.
because to me, metamorphosis is a beautiful concept, but it is like one stage of a butterfly, and it is one stage of a butterfly. So to me, it's a beautiful concept when executed, but it's like sometimes it kind of gets overdone.
A little bit, yeah. A little bit.
Yeah,
That's okay.
it's still beautiful when it's done right. But to me, you were technically not. You're not changing.
It's me.
You're
I'm still
not
me.
like you're still you. You didn't go from like a little worm into a beautiful butterfly. You were still you. Just
worm. Call me a
more
worm.
slay. Well, what are they called? Like the little
Caterpillars.
thing. Oh, sorry,
Just call me a worm. What the fuck?
If you squint, they are a worm. They'd be like worming around on the just.
Wow, bug racism. Okay.
I hate worms, just for the record.
Oh crap!
I do not respect worms. I do love caterpillars.
Okay, all right. Very good answer. Very good answer. Very interesting.
Thank you.
All right. One of my personal favorite parts is which I think was one of the. I feel like maybe this part of the model didn't go through too much change. You kind of like got it down and you showed me, and I was like, I love it. It's perfect. And then it was like the one thing that like kind of remained the same throughout the process. Maybe I'm not sure, but it's the chassis. So I'm like, my overall body, So
calm down.
Okay. What were some of your inspirations regarding it? I know we spoke about some things previously, but you can bring them up again. Also, quick little question. You know what? I'll ask you at the end. What were some of your inspirations
For the chassis?
Mm-hmm.
So I think the most clear one would be listen, I do love there's a lot of resources for like biomechanical engineering bodies and stuff like that, art and stuff like that. I think I wanted something. Usually, it's more edgy,
Mm-hmm.
more masculine, more very metallic kind
Very
of
yes.
shapes to it. It's beautiful and I love it. But for you specifically, I wanted something more soft and like feminine.
Mm.
And the recurring star through and through all of this has to be Alita, Battle
Oh
Angel. Like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
her I think her chassis is one of the most beautiful designs
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I've ever seen in my entire life. It was I had to do like my best to like be to appreciate and not to copy.
Yeah.
I still wanted the design to be your own. Um, Even though if I was giving the choice from myself, just chop her head off, put my head on top of it, and call it a day. Her chassis is like a work of art, like as is. I don't care about the movie. I don't care about all of it. Beautiful movie, very underrated. But her chassis was something out of this world, and I think
Mm-hmm.
like the amount of research that went into making it as like a 3D item
Mm-hmm.
is crazy because it was very challenging, like
Yeah.
trying to make this work in a 2D format. So I can only imagine it was like semi impossible
For yeah,
in
fully moving.
3D. So yeah, I wanted it to like look like you and like fit into your story, like the themes you told me and everything. Um Even like the motifs, I wanted it to be
Mm-hmm.
like your character. Um I think yeah, it was like I think it was like one of my favorite parts to work on.
Mm-hmm.
Um it was like a little tricky and like when you're trying to like move the parts like when you're
Yeah.
sitting and stuff like that because I have to think in like 3D format.
Mm-hmm.
It is very hard to translate it into 2D. So I had to like do a lot of adjustment. I had to do like more of a Barbie doll approach,
Mm-hmm.
like do you know the ones with the limbs that can bend?
Yeah, yeah.
Um it did. I do think it worked out. So yeah,
I
I
agree.
love there's a lot of resources that I had to go through, but
Mm-hmm.
Alita's chassis is through
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
through.
I agree. No, yeah. Uh I think yeah, by far it's like the most memorable one for me too because I think a lot of different ones and I'm like, yeah, that was cool, but like it's whatever. You know, it's whatever. Um beautiful, beautiful inspiration, and I think it came out
Thank you.
very, very good, very good. It is my favorite part. I think we had this discussion where we're like, you're like, you were like, we need to do a swimsuit outfit for you because I did not do all that work. There's so much of it that it actually is not even visible, right now,
Yeah,
underneath.
yeah. It's one of those things like you focus on too much while you're working on the part, and then when
Mm-hmm.
you put like everything on top of it, it just like disappears, and you're like, oh. But it is nice to know that
Mm-hmm.
it's there in case like one day it shows up for one reason or
No,
the
I
other.
agree. Yeah, I think a lot of times people don't think about that when they're designing things and then like yeah there's like a different outfit and it's like oh well it's just you gotta have a good foundation, you know, it's foundation is everything and I think you have a really great one.
True.
You made a really good one. um I'm gonna well I shouldn't say a couple, I should say one comment asking or not asking but more commenting on the fact that like how it's body horror. Did that have any influence in like your decision making or was this person just out of their wacko time?
I don't. Oh, I don't think they're out of really work, but it's. I think you can't really escape the idea of body horror
Mhm.
when making a design like this because like just looking at your body, you can just tell where there was scalpels and saws
Mhm.
running through where like like you needed to install glass panels like
Yeah.
there was a lot of cutting that needed to be made for it to work, so I think it just like comes pre-built in.
Yeah.
um I wanted it to be like one of the big thoughts in my head was even though like you're basically breaking a human body to make this
Mhm.
according to the lore you gave me, I wanted it to still be with love.
Yeah.
Like it's part of it because I'm working on it, part of it because maybe part like a messed up part of the lore translates into love
Mhm.
because like you can't create something like this without loving some aspect of it.
Yeah, no,
Whether
agreed.
it's like the creation process or the person you're creating. So it's just like, again, like there's a lot of breaking that had to go in there to like make the body the way it is. So unfortunately, like body horror is fully equipped in there in the process.
Thank you, thank you. I wouldn't have wanted it any other way. Now,
I'm happy you like it.
yeah, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, I'm sorry. So let's move on to the actual fashion part of it, because I know you're very very how should I put this, fashionly inclined.
Yeah.
So there's 2 outfits. We haven't shown the other ones. We're only going to talk about this one that I have on at the moment. Was there a specific collection or like a piece of fashion or something that really like you were like, oh, I'm gonna steal this, but like change it a little bit and make it my own? Was there ever something like that you were looking at during the design process?
I can't really recall anything. We kind of worked based on vibe. I do like one of the earliest things we ended up doing, like I asked you to do, is like we did a joint Pinterest board.
Yes, we did.
Where basically I was like pinning ideas of what I wanted it to be. It was very nice of you to like, because like this whole process, you were amazing, like giving me full trust and reign when it comes to like designing this. So we basically just like threw in like a bunch of ideas. You threw in a bunch of memes.
You gotta take a little break.
Yes, that is true. That is true. There was a lot of discussion when it comes to like you wanted it to be gothic, kind of like inspired. You wanted like colors. We were very clear on what kind of palette we wanted for you. We did think of like the theme of decay early on.
Yes, yeah.
Not maybe in the exact same approach, but it was like discussed early on. I think like you sent me shoes, if I recall correctly, and they were the early idea of
the shoes I
like
have
corruption. That's how, like, that was the result of it.
Yeah.
I do remember like there was a lot of like if you go to slide 12, there was a lot of like the video game. I think it's called Shining Nikki.
Oh yes,
I've never
yes,
played that game, but they had like a lot of beautiful game. Like they have so many silhouettes, so many designs, like insane amount of options. And I remember like we traded so many of those back in the day. You can see like some of the memes Punki ended up like sending to help the process. They were very helpful. So yeah, I ended up like making a few silhouettes. And then we ended up agreeing. I think we ended up merging 2 of them.
I think so, yeah.
And to make like the one you have on right now. But I think I like ended up sending you like 5, 4, 5, 5, 4.
Yeah, I think too.
Silhouettes.
A lot of like the design choices that you ended up taking was for like the versatility of like the outfit, which I love because I can do so many things. I'll never get bored of mixing and matching things, but I think that definitely affected. But it's like for the best because, like I said, in the future, if I ever, I'm like, I want this, but I also want this, but not that. I can do that.
Yeah. Well, a big like fear for me was the idea that I was gonna explode your computer.
Oh yeah.
Because the file was huge and like there were so many moving parts in it. So I had to like kind of put a backdoor, like just in case of an emergency, then remove all of these parts, and then you would still look cohesive, on brand, but you can still turn these things off, and you would still present the story you're telling. So I ended up like putting so many like.
Which is amazing.
Trying to figure out, I'm really happy it worked out because like I was freaking out, especially like the skirt part, because I do love the whole thing, but I do also understand that when you're streaming, most of the time you're only showing half of your body, so any tracking below that it's kind of useless, but it is beautiful. and it is nice to have aesthetically. For an example, when we're having this setup right now, you can just like beautifully sit down and have everything just like on show. So it does serve the fantasy, and I'm very happy that it worked out. No computers were harmed in the making of this model. Maybe my computer, but we don't talk about that one.
Yeah, which I really appreciate, because I don't think if I went to someone else, they'd be like, "I'm willing to do all of this for you." You definitely went the extra mile, which thank you, of course, of course.
I love going the extra mile, because at the end of the day, I do love projects of love, and I do love making art. So I did warn you early on that sometimes like you're gonna have to like reel me back in, because I also do suffer from the too much gene.
Yeah,
the too much gene, because sometimes it shows up like, oh, I need all of it in right now. So it was very nice like having your feedback and looping it into the ideas that we had. I do remember halos were also a very big
they were
early idea that you wanted.
I did,
we have some examples, and like we saved in page 13. I did yeah. The scrunkle one on the right is my favorite, the white one. I think we ended up like the picture, like the design that you have on your head right now, it was like very early in your concept art, and like you can see the model that kind of inspired that idea of like that shape of hairdress.
Yeah,
we ended up like combining it, and then the halo design was like one of the last things I ended up doing. And I ended up like designing it 3 different times.
I remember that.
Yeah, like it took me a lot of attempts. And then by the end of it, I decided to go with 2.
I remember that.
Again, yeah, the too much gene just kicks in when you least expect it, and you're like,
you were like, I finished the Halo, I think it's ready, and I was like, oh, sick, and you ended up sending it to me, and I was like, oh, beautiful, and you're like, oh, surprise, there's actually 2 in there, and I was like, oh, yeah, I see why you sometimes she'll keep secrets from me and then wait for me to discover them. It's fun. It's like a little Easter egg, huh?
It helps that it was like an open budget, open collaboration, open communication, open you do whatever you want. So that helped a lot. Not gonna lie. And then slide 14 is the shoes you sent me.
Yes.
Like the sharp ones. The one on the white background. Those were the ones like where they kind of inspired the decay. I remember seeing the shoes, and then I put the hands in after, and then we decided to go with this kind of like climbing ivy monstrosity of pearl and darkness.
The pearls. I love them. My favorite part, honestly.
They were such a pain to make, but I do love making pearls. Like I love pearls. As you can see, my outfit is like dotted with them, but it's such a pain to make them. So yeah, it turns out it is aura according to the dog.
Yeah,
Mr. Dog, your answer. Might be aura. This is aura. Yeah, it was very aura.
All right. Now we've spoken a lot about different design elements within the model, but was there anything, if I ever came to, I was like, you know what, the shoes, they gotta go? Was there anything you were ever willing to just like, no, this has to stay. It has to be like this. It has to be like this.
It has to be the butterfly ears, the ones you have on right now. Yeah, because all of your older models, you had ears, but they were more like mechanical.
Yeah,
beautiful ears. But I kind of took a gamba with this design you have on right now, and I'll be honest with you, I was kind of like, I was gonna guilt trip you with our friendship. I would have been like, please, for the sake of our friendship, let me have those on. If you've ever like thought like, hey, they're not on theme, they don't really work. Because I loved working on them. And if you go to slide 15, you would see like they were in the early sketches of your design. Like on the left, it's like literally just like a vague concept, but you can see like the butterflies.
They're still there
in there. So they had to be there. I'm sorry, but I could not. They had to be there.
Can't believe you do this to me, because I actually have something to tell you.
You hate them.
I can't wear them anymore. I hate them.
Okay, we give you different ones. Bigger ones?
I'm
No!
joking. I'm joking. I love them. I love them now. If I didn't think they would look good, because as much as I love my other ears that are in waiting, sometimes I'm like, maybe I should wear those today. Change it up. But I'm like, no. It looks so good. It looks so good with these. So, no, they're
Yeah.
perfect. They're beautiful.
I love them. They were
Mhm.
like my favorite part to rig and paint. And like it was so fun coming up with like the colors and
Mhm.
because I also wanted them to kind of light in dark backgrounds.
Mhm.
Because most of the time when you're streaming and like you're in a game, you're kind of sitting in the corner. And a lot of the
Yeah.
times you have like
Mhm.
a dark halo around you. So it was like very fun to try and like make them kind of peek through even when there's nothing behind you.
No, I agree. Yeah. I think the silhouette too is. I mean, I think the idea of the ears is pretty unique. I feel like in some designs, but I think the silhouette too. I love. Like I remember, I think you showed me very early, but I saw like the way it like, woo, like the shape of it, and I was like, oh, this is beautiful. This is perfect. I love it. This is it. This is never here. This is all I got. This is all I got.
I'm happy you love them as much as I did.
Yes, yes. Now, was there ever something that you had trouble designing that we had to like go over and over and over? Because I remember the dress. Actually, I was looking at an old image that you'd sent me. Well, yeah, an old image, and I was like, oh, it's different. Now that I'm like looking at it, it was different. I don't remember exactly. If I find the picture, I'll put it on the screen. But it was different at one point. So was this an issue, or you just changed your mind? Was there something you were
Wait,
like?
sorry, but was the different?
I think the dress was different. Let me see if I can find the picture so I can send it to you. I have it
Like
saved.
the butterflies, like the wings, or
No, like the dress itself, like the upper part of it. Let
ooh,
me see.
I think like the kind of the veins were as like an afterthought.
Mm-hmm.
They were not on the original design. I ended up adding them after because I felt like it was like beautiful but a little too flowy,
Oh, I
too
found it. I found it.
fabricy.
Let me send it to you so you may see it. And since I found it, I'll put it on the screen.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It was like in terms of like the silhouette is still the same.
Mm-hmm.
It was just a matter of like it felt like too first of all too princessy. Nothing
Mm-hmm.
wrong with that, but it
I
wasn't
know.
really you.
Mm-hmm.
Very lumpy, especially with like the black.
Yeah.
It felt like the story kind of got lost in this shape.
Mm-hmm.
So I ended up going to the drawing board again and I ended up adding the veins first and then I kind of decided to like shape them to match your ears.
Mm-hmm.
So you would have 3 wings on each side on your head and 3 wings on each side on your hips. So it can be like an
Mm-hmm.
illusion if you want. You can pretend that these can also carry you in the wind.
I just
Mhm.
fly away.
Uh-huh,
Mm-hmm.
uh-huh. But yeah, I still love like the original silhouette, but it did
Mm-hmm.
not feel like you at all.
Mm-hmm.
So I ended up having to go in and it just felt too light and it needed
Mm-hmm.
some weighing down and I think like the wings were they were the answer to
No,
this
I
call.
agree. No, I agree. I agree. I
It
agree.
created better balance in my opinion and it matched
Mm-hmm.
like the head.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Agreed.
but in terms of like hard
Yeah.
painting this was not like I think painting this was like the most fun part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Even though like I had to revisit a lot of parts, it wasn't like oh my god, there we go again. I have to go and draw. It was like very like I was excited to like go and
Mm-hmm.
draw like visit the drawing board and see how I can improve on it.
Mm-hmm.
Rigging this, however,
Yeah.
I do love rigging, but because it's like it's a new medium for me, I think this is
Mm.
like what my is this my
You're
fifth?
well, okay, let's see, because you did my first one, but we were that
I did
one
the shrimp.
you did the shrimp, you did
I did.
chat,
I did chat.
and then you did the last model that I had. But all of those were like I would hand you something and then
The
you would
Halloween.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
the whole oh I love the whole I always forget about her, but I love her. Yeah, her too.
Um.
She was innovative. I feel
So
like
that's
yeah, we moved on too fast from her.
Oh no, then that I made more than 5 because this is the 5th. My
Mhm.
model is the 6th. And I also have like a half a model that I'm making for myself
So
right
like
now.
give like 6 or 7.
Yeah, 6, 7.
Okay, 6, 7.
Yeah. So I'm comfortable in it. Like you
Mhm.
can throw me in there and I can figure things out, but I'm still like it's like a language you
Mhm.
can understand, you can speak it a little bit, but you kind of sometimes feel lost if people start speaking too fast at you.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
I'm in that kind of place.
Ooh.
But I am getting better. Like I think I'm very good at like problem solving
Oh no, you
in
are. No,
right
yeah.
now. So it works out.
Oh, yeah. I think you're
And there's
doing
always like
wonderful.
yeah, and there's always like amazing like riggers putting resources out there, and it's
Mhm.
always fun to like see what's new out there. They
Yeah.
flex so much on me. I'm a peasant compared to them. They're so good. But yeah. But
Alright.
yeah, it was I would say it was a breeze. I think genuinely it's just like it was happening around a lot of busy time in my
Mhm.
life.
Mhm.
So it ended up like I had to move priorities a little bit, and
Mhm.
you were amazingly accommodating in these trying times. But
What can I
that's
say?
behind.
That's fine.
Thank you.
So she's been out in the world for a month. Yeah, a month. Wow, I guess look, I can't believe. I feel like I've had her forever. I guess. But she's only been. You're 4 years old. You're the youngest person ever. But now that you've seen her in action, is there anything you would ever go back and change? Anything you would change? Not add on. We're not saying new outfits. We're just saying,
Why you have to like crush my dreams?
Okay.
I wouldn't say it's the model herself.
Mhm.
I would go back and like beg Life 2D to drop their 3.5
Oh
5.3 5.3
yeah.
patch.
Mhm.
Please. The thing is already out and it's still not I don't think it's supported on
Mm-mm.
VTube
No, yeah.
Studios. Like you can't use it because like I was freaking out a couple of days ago because I kept importing things with the
Mhm.
patch and nothing was working. So it would have been I think I would have gone a little crazy on your textures, not gonna lie. And I'm not averse to like revisiting her.
Mhm.
Um if you'll allow me, of course. Please let me. Let me.
I don't know. We'll have to.
Um
You'll have to convince me.
when because I had like a lot of ideas for
Mhm.
like lacy kind of approach to her skirts. I would love to go back and
Mhm.
like test out some of the overlay like some of the um blend modes for
Mhm.
that's the big one that I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to because it's very limited currently. So
Mhm.
they are my ops for
Yeah.
life.
I genuinely Life 2D has put every like roadblock in front of you, and you've overcome it all. They don't like you.
What can I say?
Yeah.
No, I do think that like they're really good a good
Mhm.
company at like listening to their user base and like immediately jumping on accommodating like what artists need, because I like genuinely one of the biggest problems I had is the blend modes, because you would create these like amazing layers in
Mhm.
Clip Studio Paint, and then you would transfer them in, and suddenly like everything flat and ugly, and all the colors
Mhm.
wrong. So if they like the fact that they immediately responded to the community and like they locked that in is amazing. So while they did opt me when I was working on your model, they did release it eventually, and now VTube Studio is my op for life. They need to
Yeah.
release, they need to update this thing right now.
Yeah, no, I agree. Sponsor her, Live 2D, sponsor her. Okay, anyway, all right. I know music is a very big influence on your workflow and your life, and you're a musician at heart.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Let's start lies now. Rumors.
could you please give us one track? I know you have a playlist, but just
I
one
have
track
playlists.
that really stood out to you when you were working, whether it be like it just hyped you up, or like it was about me, or like anything. Anything. We'll take anything.
This is gonna sound like the most pretentious thing on the face of the earth, so please bear with me. I do love daydreaming to music.
Mhm.
And a lot of like my thought process always involve music, not intentionally, because I do have like playlists that I listen to on the daily. And it just like so happens that something would come on, it would kind of like ignite that spark in your brain.
Mhm.
And I remember that I was like driving and I was like thinking about like the model and stuff, and that song comes on and it just like kind of locks in your brain. It happens a lot. It's not like one of those like once in a lifetime kind of things. Like it sounds. That's why I said it sounds pretentious, because it sounds like this magical like thing aligning. But it is how like my artistic process works. I don't. I do see shapes, but I think of auras when it comes when I think like when it comes to making concepts. Like I kind of want like think of it in terms of an edit. If your character was an
Yeah.
edit and this music was playing in the background, how would this character present? And yours, the song that like it kind of triggered that is it's called Apathy. It's music, like it's not like lyrical, it's just like music. It's Apathy, the slowed version.
Ooh.
And the artist is LXZT. I don't know how to say this.
That's okay.
I love that piece so much. It's just like very like metallic, very grungy. Like it just sounds like it's very reminiscent of a pistons create like in a machine creating a heartbeat. If you were to listen to it, it's very like industrial pump kind of vibe, and like it just like it has like it was again like it was just giving like a, a metal body a lot coming alive like a, and it just like it was your model, that's how it came like
That
to
was it.
like how
Yeah.
it manifested, and it just like it was so fitting for it. And it was one of the songs that like kept like going, because like sometimes when I like a song and the
It
ideas are
just
flowing,
yeah.
I just keep beating that little thing until it's like I can't listen to it anymore. Surprisingly, this is one of the songs that I still listen
Nice.
to this day.
Nice.
It is not for like it's not everyone's taste, but it's one of my favorite pieces, and I think it will forever be attached to your model in my brain.
Thank you. Thank
So
you. It's a great. I think I listened to it. Funny enough, I think I don't even remember how the conversation came up, but we were talking about like music, and I think we mentioned like working and like how music affects the way we work, or sometimes when you're gaming, you're like, get so much aura or whatever.
yeah.
And I think that's how it came up. But yeah, I took a listen to it, and yeah, no, I agree. It's a very good song. Very good song. A very good music taste. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? Good
I'm as
art
surprised as you are.
good artist taste, good movie taste, good music taste.
Alglaze.
No,
Alglaze everywhere,
W-gaze,
everyone.
I think. um so it was a very big process, but what was the biggest thing you learned? And this can be like from a technical standpoint, like maybe you learned the most in live 2D, or your illustrative, or like designing and stuff. What was something you learned that you can share with all of us, so that we can perhaps one day reach your stature and not height, because we all
What
passed that,
the?
but in talent.
I think um previous I think like in recently in recent years I kind of grew
Oh.
more conscious of like approaching ideas. So I would be less adventurous. I would plan smaller because I would be afraid like, oh, will I be able to like skillfully meet my vision? So I like there's a period where like I even like stopped making art for a little bit, because it just like felt in my head I couldn't meet my vision. A little bit for a lack of trying, because I was more worried that I wasn't gonna do it because I'm not skilled enough. So I stopped trying altogether. I think working with you in general and working on this model and working on Life 2D, learning a new program, it kind of removed that thought. It kind of deleted it from my brain. So I kept making like these insane designs that I would throw in, and I would have to like figure out how to rig blindly. it was frustrating sometimes, but I'm gonna be on. Like, I think it was genuinely one of the best things that I came out of. It was very nice to like go back to like that childlike
Mm-hmm.
desire to make things, and you don't really care about how skillful you are. You just like, you think of a picture or you see a picture and you just want to do it, and you just go ahead and do it. So that was it was very nice to go back
Mm-hmm.
into that place and just create without having to worry about if I'm good enough or not. It
Yeah.
did help that I had like a friend and a coworker that was constantly telling me, "Oh, I'm doing great," even like when I was seeing the bad. So
It
I
was
really
great.
appreciate
It was
that.
all great. Yeah. No, I agree. I think sometimes, especially, and I think this is often a topic that comes up in the art community, is just like the need to just be good already, and you're like, well, why even
Mm-hmm.
try if I can't even? Because I'm a victim of that too. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, I'm glad that I was some help to you at
No,
least
I
in
really
that.
appreciate it. And the thing is, like, there's always gonna be someone who's bigger and better than you
Mm-hmm.
at the things you love doing. But also you are already bigger and better than someone else that's just starting this. So it's not
Mm-hmm.
entire like you're not it's not a bad place to be, and you can always improve.
Mm-hmm.
That's the beauty of having like of these skills and hobbies. It's not something you're not born with this. You
Mm-hmm.
have to like constantly pick up and like study, and it doesn't have to be necessarily like constantly drawing and stuff like that, because I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna be honest with you, I stopped like there was a period of my life where I stopped making art for like 5 consecutive years, and I thought that's it, I lost the magic. Like, I'm gonna return to this hobby when the time comes, and I wouldn't be able to like do anything.
Mm-hmm.
um I came back and I was like, I noticed a significant improvement, because even though like I wasn't constantly making art because I couldn't, I was still like paying attention,
Mm-hmm.
consuming art, watching other artists, or like just in general, like seeing how things move, how shapes work with each other, and how colors interact. So like, it's if you feel like it's hopeless and you feel like you're stuck in where you are artistically, it's you're not going to be there forever. You just
Mm-hmm.
like have to pay a little bit of an attention to your environment and like seek new inspiration, and it's temporary. It doesn't last forever.
Agreed. Agreed. If anything, sometimes I feel like a break is you need it. You know, you just need a little break. Take a little break. Go watch a movie. Go get inspired. Come back and it'll be better than ever. You heard it here from our expert artist, Miss Medusa.
Yeah, what can I say?
So, now that you've moved on from me, what's next for
What?
you? What's next? What's next for you? What do you have planned? I know you have things always moving in your brain, and what do you have next? What do you want to plug, Medusa? What do you got for us? What do you have? What should we
Do I
anticipate?
actually look like I have there's thoughts on my brains?
A little, yeah.
So currently I'm working for a big model for myself.
Mm-hmm.
The model I'm currently inhibiting is actually like one of the earliest models I worked on, and you can probably see from like how sometimes it's a little rigid. This is not. I still love her, and I'll probably like actually revisit her again
Mm-hmm.
and crank her up to 1 million. But I am currently working on a big model for myself,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm looking forward for her reveal. It's gonna be a while because I just finished her art and I haven't rigged anything.
I'm so excited to see it next month.
So yeah, what? No, it's gonna be at least like 10 years from now.
What the fuck?
It's gonna
What?
be my retirement plan. I'm gonna
Okay.
reveal it in into the world and immediately graduate.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the plan. I am also thinking about streaming.
Ooh, what was that? Could you say that a little bit louder for the watchers, for the podcast listeners?
Streaming, maybe.
Streaming? Oh wow. Oh, okay. On
Streaming, yeah,
Twitch?
maybe.
Oh, okay, okay,
Possibly.
okay.
Yeah, I don't have a set schedule. I don't have like an idea. Well, I do have a vague idea, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
also doing some stage so like they can play with me some Final Fantasy 14, but we'll see how that goes.
Okay.
But I don't really have big plans. I'm kind of rolling with the punches.
Well, that's good. That's good. I'm glad.
Yeah.
I'm glad. This is very insightful. Um, thank you so much for joining us and for revealing all of your secrets. That was
You're
actually quite
welcome.
enjoyable. That was quite enjoyable. I feel like
It
I
was
know
really
you.
fun.
I feel like we've bonded even more. You know.
I know, even though we just like met 2 days ago. It's kind of
Yeah,
crazy.
I can't believe it. No, yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't even know. I don't even know your real name, honestly.
No, you don't need it.
Yeah.
You don't need my government name.
Okay. Um.
Mm-mm.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And all of Medusa's links, if you're interested in checking her out, looking at her art, following her TikTok or anything else. She's on all the platforms. Listen on the screen right now. Have fun post editing, Punky. Idiot.
Whoa, don't talk about her like that. She's my friend.
You can check her out. She makes art, and when she will stream, or when she does stream, she plays games, Final Fantasy, and
Sometimes.
Overwatch, and War Rivals, and that hamster game
Sometimes.
we're gonna play together. We'll play the hamster game.
Okay, yeah, we can play that one. That one, yeah, I'm
But
done.
yeah, all her stuff will be listed down below, and go get a piece of art from her. She does commissions, and her art is beautiful. So go check that out. But thank you so much for hanging out with us today, and hopefully you enjoyed that. Anything you'd like to say before we leave?
Thank you for listening to me up and be a pretentious artist with my beret. Um, and I hope it was like it was useful for people
Anybody? Yeah.
who needed to be a little more inspired, because I love listening to people yap about art and how art influence their creations and into more art. So I hope that was helpful for someone out there. And
Yeah.
thank you for having me on the moon.
Of
It was
course,
very
Sam.
pleasant.
Yeah, I'll make sure
Just
they
make sure they
yeah.
call the black
Uber.
the
Yeah.
black Uber and not the black sack again, please. Thank you.
Okay. We'll do
Yeah,
that. I'll put that on
it
my
was
list of
rough.
things to do.
And then I leave.